Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give call Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. This is Soldier Shaya out of Brooklyn, New York. Sakari. And I just want to go into this lesson on when you're being hated by men, right? When these times come, you should be rejoicing, because the scriptures tell you you shall be hated of all men for Christ's name's sake. So you should be giving praises to the Most High when these times come, for the most part, right? Because you shall be hated by all men. That's going into men in the world, men in the truth, right? Men in the so-called truth, men in camps, right? Not so-called truth, but they so-call themselves in the truth, right? We talking about men that know Deuteronomy 28, right? What is that, 54, where it talks about having an evil eye, right? You shall be hated of all these men. Joseph had to go through it by his own brothers, his own flesh and blood, right? So what makes you think that you're not going to be hated on? Why would you despise, right? Not like being hated on? When them times come, you should be smiling, right? And not to have that hasty spirit to, throw hate back. Because even in the world, when you were getting hated by men, right? Those with a strong mentality, it wouldn't break you. It wouldn't break you down, right? It'll actually give you a little chip on your shoulder, make you a little prideful in the world when men, throwing hate at you for whatever reasons. And in these times, these men are effeminate, so niggas will hate you for the pettiest reasons, right? But let's jump into the scriptures, because we not Christian over here, right? Genesis 37. Let's start at verse 8. And his brethren said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? Right? Because Joseph is telling his brothers that he love them about a dream. Right? And it reads, or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? Now they questioning him, right? Because of their interpretation of the dream, if he's gonna rule over them, right? And it reads on, and they hated him yet the more for his dreams. So you got brothers hating their own brother because of his dreams, right? Not his goals. He didn't say he's going to do this. He said, hey, I just had a crazy dream. He's letting them know about the dream, right? And it reads on, and for his words. So this is how you know speech and words are powerful. For words to make you hate somebody, right? Because words, they cut. They cut you, right? They make you feel away. So these brothers hated him for a dream and for words. Let's keep going. Let's get verse 11. I'm not going to read the whole chapter. And his brethren envied him. They envied him over a dream and words. This is what we're talking about, right? You got some brothers, they'll hate you because you look like you got a little bit more wisdom. It might seem like that, right? And brothers who in the truth and who have, you know, a certain amount of wisdom, they know they not shit. They know it's all studying. There's nothing to it. It's nothing so puffed up about it, right? You pray to the Lord, right? You fast and pray to the Lord for wisdom, and you study. And voila, boom. Over a course of time, you know, your spirit gets built up, right? So it's really a 4-step process. Commandments, fast and pray, study, right? Because the scriptures tell you to study to show thyself approved, right? Work out your own salvation, right? This is what the scriptures say. So they envied him, right, over his words. But it reads on, but his father observed the same, right? Because Jacob, he's the elder, so he has a little bit more wisdom. He's not going to just jump to his adolescent emotions over a dream of words, right? So let's keep it going. Jump down to verse 20. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him. They wanted to kill their brother, right? Because he seemeth. It's deeper than the dream. He seemeth like he's better than them. So when you go into that something seeming like it is, it's because you're letting your mind dictate how you should go about something, right? Instead of doing what God wants you to do, what the Most High wants you to do, you're letting your mind control the situation, right? We all could get caught up in this, but when you really in the scriptures and you trying to stay in the spirit, it takes a little bit more for your mind to grab onto these petty little things. So they said, come now therefore and let us slay him and cast him into some pit, right? And we will say, some evil beasts have devoured him. So now your mind is causing you to want to shed blood, right? And then lie about what you're doing. So now you just sinning and adding sin upon sin, Joseph brothers. This is the thing about the Bible. It shows everybody's, you know, both sides to everybody. Christianity would never go into this. This is the balance. This is the reality of the Bible. And we will say some evil beasts have devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. Now just being a scoffer, scoffing at dreams. You know what I mean? And petty stuff like this, it really gets to my spirit, because I hate petty little bullshit. It's so corny. You know what I mean? Brothers will envy another brother's looks, which is not only corny, it's homosexual. That's very gay. That's gay shit. If a nigga a little taller, or a nigga in better shape, or whatever the nigga clothes, whatever you could think of, niggas will have a little hate in their heart, right? That's cool. You got a little hate in your heart. But when you're not rebuking that thought, that spirit, it's going to stay there. It's going to linger. And it only lingers when you let that happen. Right? But just like Joseph, you gotta forgive all of that, so you don't get caught up in that same spirit of hate. Right? Let's keep going. Jump down to verse 28. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, right? And sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. Right? So they planned these things against Joseph, and he ended up getting captured and becoming captive to the Ishmaelites. Right? So let's see. Only one brother, had a little pity on him. And when I say little, I mean tiny. He didn't rebuke his brothers. Let's read it. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. Let's not kill him, but what? And Reuben said, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness. Right? So if you kill me and I'm dead, right? It's all over. If you cast me into the wilderness, I gotta find my way out of this bitch. So what's really worse? You don't want that blood on your hands, because you're not man enough to do that, right? And it reads on, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again, right? So yeah, he had a tiny pity on him. But I bring this out because these is Joseph's brothers that did this to him, right? So you complaining about niggas you just met, right? Or friends that you known for a little while. You can't compare your tribulations to this story, right? Whatsoever. Imagine your brother you grew up with hated you because you. I mean, and this happens. I mean, it's not like this ain't happened in my life. Not on this scale. But imagine your brother hating you for a dream. Imagine you telling your brother a goal, right, or aspiration, and he want to kill you for it. These niggas, this world, it gotta go. I cannot wait. Feel me? I could get 100 mil tomorrow, and let's be honest, if I get 100 mil, I don't know what that would, make me feel like, because I never had 100 mil. But I cannot wait for this place to go. I need this place to go, because even with that 100 mil, it's still niggas that want to kill. Feel me? There's still niggas that want to kill you, man. You don't have to hate on everything. Let's say I have 100 mil. You could go and study and find out, hey, let me bring a business proposition to this brother so he can, give me some of that 100 mil to invest. But niggas don't think like that. Right? A nigga, it's like, I need that. I know how to get it from this nigga. I'm about to hold him at gunpoint. Let him put in his bank information. Boom. We gonna split it like, you feel me? This is how niggas operate. That's why this world has to go. I don't want it. I don't want none of this shit, man. So you can't compare the little hate that you going through to what Joseph went through, right? Let's keep it going. Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in us. Let it slide, right? Don't let it get to you on a level where now you're on that same hating tip, right? David didn't hate Saul every time he tried to kill him. He tried to be the bigger man. Still show him love. Still spare his life. Right? Still try to, have a laugh with him. Still try to conversate with him. Because you know better when a nigga hating on you and you can't talk to the nigga that's hating on you now. You know better than him. And that's what niggas do in the truth and in the world. So what's really the difference? The only conclusion is these curses are real, no matter if you have wisdom or not. A nigga could know Deuteronomy 28:54 and still do that shit. That's amazing, brother. That's miraculous. That's really miraculous to me. Let's keep it going. It's really crazy, bro. Let's keep it going. Mark 3:13, right? And he goeth up to a mountain and calleth unto him whom he would, and they came unto him. Right? Is this what I wanted? Let me see. I don't think that's what I wanted. Matthew 24:9, right? Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, right? Sounds similar. We just read that up in Genesis. This is red letter, right? Christ's words. And shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. All nations means Israel included, right? The only time that I ever felt, that sorrow is when I get the hate from my own people. I don't care about Ishmael and the Hamites and the Edomites hating me. When Israel do it, it's like, damn, bro. Especially Israel that know they Israel. You'd be like, are you kidding me, bro? Are you serious? And the funny thing about Joseph's story is Judah was the one who plotted first, right? So you got Judah vexing Ephraim, and then Ephraim get into the hands of the Ishmaelites, and then to this day you'll see a Puerto Rican at the store working for the ox, right? The Lord has a sense of humor, obviously, right? But Ephraim's smart. Ephraim will be under that tutelage of the other Ishmaelite, and then get his own little grocery store, right? So when you go to the Bronx, boom, Wild, Ephraim, Dominican, got the corner stores on Smash. They run that. But let's keep it going, right? When they're hating on you, you gotta keep it going. There's no other way. 2 Corinthians 4:17. For our light affliction, right? Light, very light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So that hate, right? That's very light. That little beating that you might get from the oppressors, that's light. That's light affliction. That little being locked up for a little while, that's light affliction. If you're getting locked up what you got to keep in your mind while you in there is your ancestors. You in a cell, right? But they was in a cabin underneath the cabin. You understand? They was they was going through it. You cannot pity yourself, right? Just because you're not saying "woe is me," don't mean that you're not exuding that, right? Yes, thoughts are important, but the way that you're behaving, your actions, right? It matters as well. So this light affliction is for a moment, and it worketh patience is what the scriptures go into. So rejoice when you're being hated on, because it's working your patience in the long run. Because to be a king in the kingdom, to have a role of godliness in the kingdom, you're gonna have to have patience, because that's what the Most High has. He's long suffering, and we have been so detached from being this way that now we have to go through this, right? And it talks about that in Second Esdras, I believe the third, no, the fourth chapter, right, where Uriel is explaining to Esdras why we must go through this, right? Because even though the thunderstorm has passed, the rain from that thunderstorm is still here, right? So though the culprit of all the evil that's come in this world is gone, the evil still remains. So you have to be sifted out. All this has to be sifted out, and this is the way that it sifts out, through working your patience. Gold is tried in the fire. All right, so let's keep it going. I wasn't trying to make this video long, but it happens. Psalms 34:19, right? A song. This is talking about singing to the Lord, right? It says, "Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all." So this is why you rejoice, because you know, yes, you might be a little bothered by the hate, but it's gonna pass. This too shall pass. You'll be all right. Right? You gotta eat that. You gotta take that on the chin, because that shit it really gets to people. Not to say I'm exempt from it, but will I dwell on it? Nah. That's not my body. That's not what I'm into. I don't like dwelling on good times. What the hell am I gonna dwell on a bad time for? I don't like being too stuck on a moment, whether it be good or bad, because I know it's gonna pass, right? Not to say I'm not into being in a good mood, right? Of course, I'm gonna want to be in a good mood, but I refuse to let a moment or my mind control everything, because I know I'm in an automation, right? I know it's just a creation, right? So let the scriptures comfort you in these times. Psalms 25:16. Turn thee unto me, and have mercy upon me, for I am desolate and afflicted. So this is a perfect book to go to when you have tribulation on your mind. Go to the book of Psalms and sing unto the Lord, right? Just as David did. Fast and pray, and he'll prosper your way, right? Now I'm getting poetic. You feel me? Because that's all a psalm is. A Christian would tell you psalms is salat. A Christian would tell you rap music is bad and cursing is bad. But psalms is a poem with music. What do you think rap music is? Right? And don't tell me it didn't have cursing in there. Because David is cursing his oppressors and his enemies throughout the whole book of Psalms. So what is the difference? Right? But without studying, you're not gonna come to these conclusions. Right? I'm gonna do another video on that. Rap music is in the Bible. But let's keep it going. Let me get Nahum, because I don't be giving Nahum no love. I mean, shout out to Nahum. Nahum 1:8. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. Right? It's Nahum talking about the Lord. What do ye imagine against the Lord? Verse 9. What do ye imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Right? Affliction shall not rise up the second time. So this is Nahum going into opposing the Most High. Right? So this is just a warning to them brothers who don't have no problem with hating for petty reasons. You're opposing the Lord, right? So you better tread carefully. Watch out. Because if it says affliction shall not rise up the second time. Stop hating on niggas for petty shit. Because this nigga had an idea first and you didn't. That's corny. Niggas is really corny, bro. Like, we talk about niggas who so-called have wisdom and all of this stuff. Or all of this malarkey. Right? That's why I don't proclaim or look for this praise or approval from any nigga. Right? Because I know this book makes wise the simple. Do you understand what that is saying? It means you're not shit. Right? I don't care how long you've been in truth, how long the nigga been doing this. Of course I have respect. Of course. But I know that it's just a man. Whoever it is, it's just a man. The book made wise the simple. Right? You gotta really let that sink in. Nothing else did it but the Bible. We ought to obey God rather than men. So letting a nigga hate on you and letting that get to you, are you obeying God or are you obeying men? You can't let a nigga get to you. Not a nigga. Come on, man. That's a nigga. Lamentations 3:17. Right? We went to Psalms. Right? We cried out to the Lord in song. Now we're going to lamentate with Jeremiah. 3:17. And thou hast removed my soul far from peace. I forgot prosperity. Right? And I said, my strength and my hope is perished from the Lord. So you gotta gird up your loins. Right? Because Jeremiah, he's really going through shit. You just getting hated on. That's whack. Your affliction is whack, nigga. You can't let that control and dictate everything. Not no hate. Let me get my last precept.
Yes, I got the job. Hey, did you know HiRec can help you get better startup?
Folly, man. This nigga's always trying to sell you something. Sirach 11 and 27. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deeds shall be discovered. Right? So don't let a little pettiness get to you, and you go off and do some evil deed, something stupid. Right? Verse 25, in the day of prosperity there is forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction there is no more remembrance of prosperity. So smile when niggas is trying to get to you. Right? Whether it be your oppressor or your so-called people. Right? And with that, I want to give Call Halor Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai and say Shalom. Peace and prosperity.